Greetings, everyone. For this week in review in Chicago, mostly Bears, I want to talk about the lack of superstars among the Bears teams and contrast it to the Super Bowl teams that played this year. On the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles for the 2024-2025 season, they had 6 Pro Bowl players. Kansas City Chiefs had 5 Pro Bowl players. And the Bears, who clearly did not even make the playoffs, had 1 Pro Bowl player. Therefore, to the Chicago Bears front office, that includes management and coaching staff, please trade up to draft an NFL prospect that is more likely to make the All Pro or Pro Bowl team in order to match the superstar talent on other Super Bowl teams. Again, my name is Professor Math, and I'm releasing this video on April 13th, 2025, although a 1 week delay. Anyhow, overview of this week's segment. The first thing I want to go over is why the Bears need more superstar players, all pro and Pro Bowl players. My second point is that the Bears' best chance of obtaining a superstar player is by trading up. And I'd also want to encourage all of you to please check out my other videos describing how that the tush push is both beatable and unsafe, and try to convey those comments to other sports media, local and national. Because before you even talk about banning the tush push, you first need to prove that it's beatable and unsafe. And my strategy, looking at the rugby rules and confirmed with the rugby rules, demonstrates that having sumo wrestlers, um, it makes it both beatable and unsafe. Now, getting back to my topic this week's presentation, why Bears need more superstar players, aka a combination of all pro and Pro Bowl players, and it's referencing my very first video in 2023 where I accurately predicted that the Green Bay Packers would not win the Super Bowl. All the Super Bowl winners have had a minimum of at least 6 Pro Bowl are all pro players during the 3 year span, the year before winning the Super Bowl, the year winning the Super Bowl, or the year after winning the Super Bowl. And my first slide references the number of all pro players on the Bears and the 2 teams that competed for their Super Bowl in 2025. You can clearly see the difference between teams that even have a shot at winning the Super Bowl and the teams that had no shot at winning the Super Bowl. 6 again on the Eagles and 1 on the Bears. That should tell you the lack of superstar talent. And so now we get to the next point. The Bears' best chance of obtaining a superstar player. This is by trading up. And to obtain NFL prospects more likely to become either an All-Pro or Pro Bowl player, you need to be drafting up this year between picks 2 and 4. And most likely it'll cost the Bears a combination of their first round pick and one of their second round picks, and possibly a day 3 pick this year or next year. And the reason I want to emphasize that Bears need to trade up is because many sports media pundits keep talking about hoarding our draft picks, both locally and nationally. However, I want to remind everyone, every single Bears fan, not a single of our second round or lower draft picks have yielded an All Pro or Pro Bowl player in the last 3 years since Ryan Poles has taken over as the Bears GM. In fact, I just listed them all: Kieran Amegadjie, Gervon Dexter, Zach Pickens, Kyler Gordon, Velus Jones. You see, none of them have qualified for either All-Pro or Pro Bowl players. And although Kyler Gordon has a shot at it, he's been playing pretty well, and he just may make it. He has not made it during the first couple of years. And there's obviously a big caveat about trading up. Obviously, if NFL teams drafting above the Bears do not want to trade down, or they're asking for something unreasonable, such as giving up 3 first-round draft picks, then it's really unrealistic to trade up. And I acknowledge that. However, according to different NFL mock drafts, the reason why I think there might be a hope that the Bears could trade up is that the New England Patriots, who currently hold the number 4 pick, are looking for a top offensive lineman, such as Will Campbell or Armand Membu, which they can possibly get along with additional draft assets by trading down to the number 10 spot. Similarly, the New York Giants, with the number 3 draft pick, may be looking to get at several different quarterbacks. Maybe they don't consider there to be a great difference between, let's say, Shedeur Sanders and Jackson Dart, and they might be thinking they can obtain Jackson Dart as well as additional draft assets by moving down to the number 10 pick. Also, less likely but possible, Cleveland may also move out of the number 2 draft spot if they also value getting multiple draft picks in this deep draft class. When I say it's unlikely to move out of it, unlikely to move down to 10. They may move elsewhere, keep closer to the top 5. But in case if they're not, it's in play. And assuming that the Titans are drafting Cam Ward at number 1, because we're not idiots, we think it's virtually a lock on all mock drafts, and the Bears trade up to at least the number 4 spot, it guarantees the Bears either Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, or Mason Graham. And I don't know about you, but I feel a lot more comfortable that one of these blue chip players identified by pretty much every major sports network and analyst as being the best at their position are going to become all pro and Pro Bowl players and superstars. This is in contrast to the Bears picking someone at number 10 and someone again at number 39 and number 41. These are more like depth pieces and maybe good starters, but not all pro and Pro Bowl players. None of them have them projected to be all pro and Pro Bowl players at 10, 39, and 41. And I will agree, again, depth is important at multiple positions due to expected injuries. But again, the only NFL teams to win the Super Bowl are the teams with at least combination of 6 all-pro, Pro Bowl players within the 3-year period. And remember, our goal is to win the Super Bowl. It's not to win the offseason. It's not to have a better team per se than last year. It's to win the Super Bowl. That should be our ultimate final goal. And so I'd like to wrap up this week by encouraging you to like, subscribe, and comment on this YouTube video so that more Bears fans, the Bears coaching staff, Bears front office, and possibly Bears players can see this. And I encourage fellow Chicago Bears fans to speak out on making suggestions to help our team. And with this, I want to thank you all for being Chicago Bears fans as I end another week in review in Chicago, mostly Bears, and I remind you all to bear down.